I can't describe it, Mother, except to say that recently I feel like everywhere I go I suffer from deja vu, without the vu. And somehow there's a part of me that knows that something good happened to me during all those years, something very important.
So important you can't remember it?
Yes. And it's driving me crazy. I can feel it rolling around up there in the vast whitewashed wasteland that once was my brain.
Your brain is just fine. There is nothing wrong with your brain.
I'm not so sure. Despite the fact that I love you and all the wonderful things you've done for me, I feel like there's a part of me that's empty, that's alone. And whatever it would take to remove that feeling is right around the corner, or on the tip of my tongue. But I can't do anything. And whenever I reach for it, it hides it from me. Honestly, Mother, half the time I wake up and I'm not sure whether I'm dreaming or remembering something. And the doctor is going to take my head off. The last thing he did was warn me that I should leave you alone, and the first thing I do is dump all this paranormal, psychological, forgotten angst in your lap.
No. Look at it. Steady as a rock.
Yeah, maybe it's not working.
Oh, to be able to read your mind and help you figure everything out. I'm sure if I were missing all those years, I'd have a few questions myself.
Like, where's the wine list?
No. I lost all of those years with you, too. But you came back to me, and I have been happier than I've ever been in my life. Do you know how much joy you bring to me? And I'm sure there is a veritable legion of young women out there whose hearts you have stolen. What woman could help falling for my handsome son?
Well, the apple never falls far from the tree.
Darling, suppose there was a woman, some special woman who you love back. Ted, suppose that's what you're searching for. Oh, if that's true, I hope to God that you find her.
Well, I guess it's time for me to meet Ms. Orsini and her son. Ms. Orsini, I'm Miss Cooney.
Hello?
I'm a patient advocate. Gloria Marsh recommended?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
She suggested that you and your son might be able to use my help.
Oh, I am so sorry. You just missed him. I'm sorry you missed my son, and he's the one who needs the advocate.
Well, my job is to support the whole family.
He's camped out here 24 hours a day. He holds my hand, he tells me jokes, but there's nobody around to make him feel better.
It's hard when you're so far away from home.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, we have a few friends in Pine Valley, and they're kind, they're lovely. But they're business acquaintances.
Well, I always say there's nothing like a familiar face.
Would you mind? Could you wait just a little while longer, Miss Cooney? He really needs your help. He's been wandering around this hospital like a lost soul. There's absolutely no one he can turn to.
Ted? What is it? What's the matter? You're in pain. I'll get a doctor. Oh. Somebody has got to take a look at you.
What for? A little headache?
If you think I'm buying into that one.
All right. Maybe not so little.
This isn't something to fool around with, Ted.
I'm okay. I'm fine, I promise. They come and go very quickly. I've had them before.
All the more reason for me to call someone.
Dimitri, if you don't lighten up, I'm just going to have to report you to Edmund.
Would you at least let me call a nurse?
Repeat after me. Take 2 aspirin.
I am trying to help
I am
here.
in pain. Humor me. Take 2 aspirin.
Take 2 aspirin.
There you go. I've just received the appropriate medical recommendation. Okay. Come on, let's get out of here. Nola's waiting for us.
Are you sure about this?
Tell you what. Let's take the scenic way back to her room, shall we? A little walk always tends to work it out. Oh, come on, Dimitri, don't look so worried. I promise you, everything's going to be all right.
You do something?
Only my mind.
Gee, you had it at lunch. What's happened since then?
I just heard Dad's voice.
Well, that happens to me all the time.
No! I mean, really.
A couple of mornings ago, I was shaving. I had the impulse to grow a mustache again. And right at that moment, very clearly, I heard, "Dad, you look like the baritone in a barbershop quartet."
Well, it sounds like that.
What did his voice say to you then?
Everything will be all right.
Yeah. What were you thinking at that very moment?
Dixie. So we're just talking to ourselves, huh? That's all?
Well, Tad's part of us, sweetheart. We're never going to stop hearing his voice. And I really don't want to stop.
Neither do I. It just never stops hurting, does it?
Oh, sweetheart, never does.
You and your son must have been very close.
He is the light of my life. Does that sound excessive?
No, not to me. I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, I don't mind being stuck in this bed or strapped to this contraction as long as I know he's around. I can see him smile, hear him laugh.
Must be quite a guy.
My son is quite extraordinary. I mean that quite literally. There is nothing ordinary about him. And I think I am being obnoxious.
No, you're not.
The day he was born, I looked down at that little face, and I thought, oh, here is magic. Something sparkling about him. Quicksilver.
He's bright.
Oh, yes, my son is very bright. He has a lightning wit. He has a fabulous sense of humor.
Oh, that's great. I love people that can make me laugh.
Oh, yes. If you were trapped in a snake pit, he could make you laugh. And while you're still laughing, he'd swoop down and save you.
Oh, it sounds like a real hero.
Oh, he's resourceful and generous and handsome and charming. And he has a terrific smile.
Well, that he gets from his mom.
Yes. Ted always says that.
What's his name?
Ted. Theodore for my father, Joseph for his father, Orsini. Why?
Nothing really.
Oh, what is the matter with me? Of course, you must have met him. You probably ran into him in the cafeteria.
No, I don't think so. Well, I used to know somebody by the name of Tad, and he had a lot of the qualities that you just described.
Then you must have been madly in love with him.
Yes, I was.
Was? What happened to him?
The day that we were supposed to be married, Dad died.
He died. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, it's been 2 years now, but I guess I think about him all the time.
Oh, you poor child.
No, it's all right, actually. You know, I've gone on with my life. A big part of my heart will always belong to him, but, you know, the worst is over, thank goodness.
You're a very brave young woman.
You know, I'm supposed to be consoling you here, not the other way around.
Well, what goes around comes around. Dad always says that. I'll comfort you, and maybe you can comfort him, and then I won't have so much to worry about.
I'll do my best.
I suspect your best will be just fine.
I told you the walk would work.
Doubled over with pain, Ted. That's not a normal headache.
Well, what can I tell you? I'm not a normal guy. You gotta remember, Dimitri, there's a lot of blank cassettes rolling around up here. Every once in a while, there's a log jam.
You have absolutely got to see a doctor.
Don't think I haven't tried. When I first showed up in the Napa with no name, rank, or serial number, the first thing I did was go to a hospital.
And?
After several consultations and tests, they informed me that I had amnesia, that they discovered scar tissue that was consistent with some sort of trauma or head wound, head injury.
Some sort of. You mean they can't even tell you how you were hurt?
Nope. And I can't exactly access the data either.
So these spasms of pain, they were left over from some sort of an accident. Can't anything be done about them?
Mm-mm.
What about your memory? Will it come back?
Maybe. Maybe not.
I can't believe that you would let a specialist give you such a vague prognosis.
At about the same time, Nola found me. And I found my life. And as painful as it was, I figured it was best not to try running around to regain the past and deal with living in the present.
So you have given up trying to remember.
Trying has nothing to do with it. These little flashes come and go when they feel like it. And lately I've been having quite a few.
Anything significant?
No. Not that I can focus on. It always feels like I'm about to remember something, and then wham, that's usually when the pain hits.
Ted, have you thought about getting a second opinion?
Lately I haven't been able to think about anything but my mother. And she considers these things dangerous. She finds these episodes rather stressful. So I consider it a personal favor if you wouldn't mention it. Okay?
I can't imagine what's taking Ted so long.
Well, I'm sure he's fine. You know what? Why don't you stay here? I guess you have nowhere else you can go. And I'll go see if I can try and find him.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, sure. Just tell me what he looks like.
Oh, well, he's tall. He has dark brown, wavy hair.
Oh, could you just excuse me for a second? I'll be right back. Of course. Okay. Hi. I'm sorry, I've had a bit of a home emergency. I can't stay.
Oh, you can't wait for Ted?
No, it's really urgent. I'll be back, okay?
Well, good luck.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna need it.
That was the longest phone call on record.
Well, I had a lot of messages to return.
And then he ran into me, and I dragged him right into the cafeteria for a quick cup of coffee.
Quick.
Sounds like you missed me.
Well, you missed my patient advocate. She's a lovely woman. She's the liaison between the patients and the hospital staff.
Fine, but I'm not the patient.
Well, she works with families, too. She fills out forms and things.
Well, as soon as I can't remember how to spell my own name, then I'm sure Dimitri will help me.
No, I think you would have enjoyed meeting this girl. She's a very lovely young woman.
Oh, I get it. Mama has had another sighting.
I have not.
Yes, you have.
A sighting?
Yeah, single women between the ages of 18 and 30. Whenever Ma picks up the old blip on the radar, she zooms in for a closer look.
Not.
Yep. Desired destination, the ultimate close encounter for me, and little grand tutor for Nana Orsini.
What? That doesn't sound like much of a hardship to me.
He is exaggerating.
I am not. You've been through more women than Hugh Hefner.
1 or 2.
100.
Well, it doesn't make any difference anyway because you've turned them all down. And I wouldn't dream of introducing you to anyone even as attractive as my patient advocate. A 10 on anyone's scale with her blue eyes and her warm, lovely smile.